souls, it's your girl Tia, and I'm bowling inside because I have a very special announcement to make, and that very special announcement is that Ethereal X is officially launched! Now you might be wondering, what the heck is Ethereal X? Well, Ethereal X is my pleasure company. I call it a pleasure palace, honestly. Ethereal X is a safe space for the sexually curious, and our goal is to remove the shame and stigma surrounding pleasure, intimacy, and connection. Although sex education is important, I think it's very, very, very important to emphasize pleasure education. So on my website, you will find sex toys that are body safe, that are highly unique, that are super colorful, super fun, that should work for a lot of different body types. But we are here to really expand Ethereal X. This is just the beginning. I launched on my grandma Cuckoo's birthday on July 1st, and now I'm trying to expand my company, which is why I also launched my Indiegogo campaign a couple of weeks ago, where you can donate to help me expand Ethereal X to be the biggest pleasure palace there is. My goal is to remind you that pleasure is your birthright, and that you deserve to feel all of the self-love and self-care in the world. And so that is why I have discreet shipping. So when you order your package, no one will know where it came from or really who it's kind of for. We also have confidentiality, so I will never tell anyone that you have ever ordered something from me before. Only you and I will know. We also have a trust standard where all of the toys on my site are body safe. You'd be surprised how many toxic sex toys there are out there and how low the regulations really are. So that's just really the beginning. I have something where you can sign up for a pleasure consultation. So if you're new to the world of self-pleasure, but you're really, really curious, you need some guidance, you can schedule a one-on-one call with me for free, and we can chat about what we think the best products are for you. I also have cruelty-free and sustainable products on my site. I have faux leather and man-made materials, just things that are good for the earth and good for your body. I am so excited. I have so much more to say, but I just want to give a shout out to my ancestors because that is really who I do this for. And I want to give a shout out to you because you are who I do it for. So check it out. Go to loveatia.com/etherealx, and if you scroll all the way down, you can see how to donate to my Indiegogo campaign. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so well. If I had a peanut, I'd give you the shell. That's what my mom always says to me. Please give yourself a hug for me. And without further ado, enjoy this episode of the Loveatia Experience.
You are now listening to the smooth sounds of Loveatia. Ciao, beautiful souls. My name's Atia, and I am your future bestie in your head. I am a sex-positive animal activist. I grew up in Queens, New York, and was homeschooled/unschooled for about 12 years. I was a virgin until I was 24 and attempted to have a hoe phase for 2 years, which eventually led me to being accidentally/intentionally celibate. And here we are today. My past left me with a lot of wild stories, a lot of lessons, and a hell of a lot of trauma. Thank God for my wicked sense of humor, because God only knows I would have perished by now. With that being said, this is your gentle reminder that the Loveatia experience was created as a safe space for me to reflect and share the lessons that I've learned from past traumas. Shit gets real on this podcast, and topics such as domestic violence, sexual assault, substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and suicide may be referenced. If you are working through feeling triggered by certain topics, this may not be the show for you right now, and that's okay. Healing takes time and isn't linear. I'll be here when you're ready. Now, without further ado, the Loveatia experience is an experience. So get ready for laughs, crazy story times, and life-changing pleasure tips here on the Loveatia Experience podcast.
Hey everybody, hello beautiful souls. Welcome to the Loveatia Experience. You might see this big smile on my face if you're watching on YouTube, because this is a highly anticipated episode. I have literally been waiting to have this podcast episode since the day that we first met. And you are now going to meet the fabulous, beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, intelligent, worldly Polina of Nympho.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for this podcast interview. We've been talking about this, like I said, since we first met. So I'm so happy that we were able to get it started. And you actually have a podcast of your own, which I am in love with. And the podcast is called Nympho Life, correct?
Correct. And you will be my guest as well in the next month.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Y'all, Nympho Life is one of my favorite podcasts. She has interviewed King Noir. She's interviewed, oh my God, you know what one of my favorite other episodes was? the episode where you talked to the woman, I forgot her name, about the different types of orgasms that you could have.
Yes, Whitney Tugas. She's an Atlanta-based pleasure and intimacy coach.
Oh, she was amazing. So yeah, if y'all need a new sex positive podcast to listen to, Nympho Life is definitely it. And you also have a brand called Nympho Life. Can you tell us some more about what that encompasses? Because I just get enthralled every time I'm on your Instagram page.
Sure, thank you. So Nympho Life is the erotic intelligence hub. This is what I'm trying to build. And it encompasses everything from basically promoting the work of erotic photographer, artists, and brands and different creators to the podcast. I also have a shop. And what I also want to introduce is some sort of a knowledge hub where you can learn more about sexuality. So more of, sex education kind of topics, but also cover erotica, like different experiences, what you can experience to kind of enhance your knowledge and erotic intelligence per se. So a lot of things, but yeah, that's why I came up with this concept that it should be a hub, because it will cover different aspects of erotic education and sexuality.
I literally love that so much. Like, I want to be input into the hub. Like, I want to do everything that the hub has to offer. That is amazing. Like, I've never heard of that before. Like, and what's it called? An erotica intelligence hub?
Erotic intelligence hub.
I love that.
Yes.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And we actually met at Sex Tech School, which is like a virtual school that focuses on sex tech, the sex tech industry. So I have a lot of questions about sex tech, your vision on sex education, which ties right into your intelligence hub, and just so much. So I actually want to dive into some icebreakers, and I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions.
Ooh.
I want to hear. Yes. I want to hear.
Let's do this.
Okay, perfect. Number one, I feel like I've access to everyone so far, and like it gets crazier and crazier. So what is your dirtiest sexual fantasy?
Ooh. I want to say sex in the church, but
Oh!
I guess this is from like the most forbidden ones. Yeah, I would love to have sex in space, I feel like, but I don't think it's as dirty.
But it's still phenomenal. Like, how does that work with like a lack of gravity? And I don't know, that might.
Yes.
Just saying, it's a good idea. Okay, so
what about you?
So mine, after I heard everybody's, mine seemed so vanilla. So mine was like, oh, I want to watch. Wait, what was it? I want to watch two men please each other while I'm on the beach with them. Was that it? I think that was it. But I want to update it. I would like it to be me and two other women, and like we take turns pleasing each other. There's like lots of like just liquids, like oils and lubes and sweat and spit and everything. But like not spitting in my mouth. I don't think I'm there yet. But just like, I don't know, just like fluids.
I'm there already.
Yeah.
Yes. I also thought I've been there. Not right now. I'm here. I arrived.
It's doable. Like that one's feasible.
With the right partner. With the right partner. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. But I'm gonna keep brainstorming. I'm gonna keep on trying to figure out how to make it dirtier and dirtier. So yeah. I'll keep posted.
I have one more, but I cannot say it's mine because I literally stole it.
Okay.
So, but I think it's like the hottest so far.
Okay.
So I remember I encountered the website called Fat Life. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
So, and I was just like, and it looks horrible because it's so outdated. It's like really this 90s forum. So I didn't understand anything, like how to use it. But I remember I was just like checking some random users' profiles, and either it was a section in the forum or it was on some of the guys' profiles or girls' profiles. And there was a section where it was asking to describe your fantasy.
Okay.
So the fantasy this person described, I think it was a guy, perhaps. Okay. Like a cis guy. He described that he takes a woman, he blindfolds her, he leads her, and it's described from a point of view of a woman. Ooh. So so let's switch it. So you are you're blindfolded, you are taken to a building, you feel that you are going up the elevator, you don't know what floor is that, you don't know what kind of area you are at. or neighborhood, and then you are taken to an apartment, and then he leads you to the balcony, and you are still blindfolded, and then he starts eating you out and like fucking you, and you hear the street, but you have no clue if someone can see you or not. And then he asks you if you want to take off the blindfold or not. I was like, wow.
No, I really am hot.
So stealing it. I'm so stealing it.
What? That is so
That's awesome, right?
It's so many different kinds of risks, so many different kinds of like. Yes, I love that. And the
overstimulation.
Yes, literally, and not knowing if people can see you or not, like that. It's so hot. Do you think that you're a voyeur?
I think it's my well, definitely not a voyeur. Exhibitionism, I am.
Exhibitionist. Okay.
Like I like being watched, but also it's this like, I think it's the ultimate submission, right? When you are giving the control to the other person, to entrust him to keep you safe, whatever it means in the situation. And I love that.
I love
on
that.
the submissive side of things, and I love like giving away control, and I love like when one of my senses kind of deprivated, so like restraints or being blindfolded. So I'm into that.
I love it. And just for the audience and for myself, to make sure that I'm clear, exhibitionist is when you like to be watched. Voyeur is when you like to watch, right?
Yes. I don't know if it's exhibition is specifically to, it's like being exposed. I don't know. Well, good point. But yeah, voyeur is for sure like when you like to watch.
Yeah, I think that you were right when you said exhibitionist likes to be watched. Like, I think that those two, but maybe I'll make the next episode be about that, and we can like do a deep dive.
Yes.
I like the risk. Okay, you ready for the next question?
Yes.
Okay. Do you watch porn? And if so, what kind of porn is your favorite? Like top favorite, top one, number one?
Yes. I love watching porn.
Okay.
I'm an OG in watching porn. I can say that I've been doing it ever since I was like maybe 11, 12. So I have a lot of experience in that. Well, what is the most interesting thing for me was that ever since I was really like a teenager, I was mostly watching lesbian porn. Well, where there are two women or more women. Even though I don't identify as a lesbian. And like I mostly, I identify as a bisexual, bi-curious, but still most of my life I had sex with men. So for me it was weird that like, why am I so, this is the kind of the thing that turns me on the most. And I think overall I was watching like only lesbian porn for like 7 years or so. And for me it's mostly like, I don't like this vanilla bullshit, like I need some dynamics. I love this kind of dynamics when someone is like getting seduced, like I don't want to like say anything. Consensual, of course, everything. But if it's like a school student and there is a teacher, and and it's like on this
like role
side
play?
of things.
Yeah.
Not, but like domination and submission again. Like, so power dynamics, so like not like the equal kind of vibe dynamic, but someone is like more in power.
Yes. I love that.
So this has been like a long, and then I don't know, and then I just switched. So now I watch both, like, let's say like the straight couples porn or threesomes or lesbian, but I guess mostly like I mostly watch threesomes, and for some reason I prefer again some sort of like power dynamics, but like threesome, and doesn't matter like two men or two women or anal.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever watched a full-on anal porn video. Like, do you mean like just only anal? Anal?
Well, I'm not. I need this plot, of course, but but I don't know why. Also, like, it's like, I'm not. I mean, it's not that like I do it often in like regular life, but that maybe that's why it's like interesting how the brain works. Maybe because because like why would I watch regular sex if like
like I'm doing that?
Exactly. I feel like you want something like different.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. I know somebody who like another podcaster loves like gay porn, and she said like it's
Mhm.
so passionate and like I could see myself getting into that because like you said, it's not something I experience in like my everyday life. So if I can watch someone else,
Yes.
you know, like live through them, so I get that 1,000%. Or like I was obsessed when I was younger and currently with squirting porn, like anything that had to do with squirting,
Mhm.
like real squirting though, not the one where they, you know, like I don't know what they do to be able to put things in them then squirt it out, but no, like, like the
Yeah.
genuine squirt. Yeah, but it was like so astonishing to me because I couldn't do it at the time. Like I didn't know I could do it. So I liked watching other people be able to do it. So I get that 1,000%. And I feel like a lot of people, especially people with vulvas, I won't speak for everybody with a vulva, but I'll say that I think we've all had our like lesbian porn phase. I mean, I'm still in it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and because you know, like women know other women's bodies, like we know, and everybody is different, but I can just relate a little bit more. It's really hard for me to watch hetero porn though. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I feel you. I feel you. There needs to be some like edge to that.
yes, yeah, I like it when it's amateur. That's cool. Like extra amateur though. Like not, I don't want a script, you know, like I need, but still give me a
Yeah.
plot. Yeah.
That's I'm the opposite actually. Like give me high production value. Like give me the give me cinematography, like lighting, you know, like good outfits. Like I recognize the brands of lingerie the girls are wearing.
Give me the good lighting, the drone shots, like
Yes,
everything.
I work in advertising, so maybe it's like a professional kind of like I know good content when I see one, and I'm
Yep.
like I'm used to. But
Yep.
yeah, it's not always with the soul, let's say, and
Yes.
it's the amateur porn.
Yes. I love that though. It's literally, they're just, and you know what's interesting? I did do the script, I enjoyed scripted porn before I felt like I had access to knowing what amateur porn was. So like Cinemax, HBO, like all of those, I loved those. But the only thing I didn't like about those was that they never showed the penises. They literally would show, you know, like breast and vagina, but never the penis. I was like,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, this doesn't feel right. Except for HBO Real Sex. They did show penises. That's why that was my favorite one.
That's cool. I actually heard this also answer for one of the somewhere on a podcast of a girl who was saying that she actually prefers gay porn is because it is focused on male pleasure and seeing the penis and the enjoyment for mostly, you know. So and that's
Yes.
why that's what the mainstream like male oriented is lacking.
Yes.
So
Whoa. Okay. I might have to. I'm gonna just try it one day, and I'll report.
I dare you.
Okay. Yes. Sounds like a plan. Okay. My next question for you is: what do you use sex toys, and if so, what is your favorite sex toy that you have?
So it is the most mind-blowing thing ever. Like, what is my actually favorite sex toy? So, for to the first question, I don't use a lot of sex toys. I mean, I have a lot. The thing is, I'm not really. I'm kind of lazy to use them on myself, but I love when my partner is using them on me because again, it's something, you know. I know how I will move my hand, so it's kind of like predictable. But when
Yes.
my partner is using them on me, then I'm like, I don't know, like what his next move is gonna be. So to be honest, I've been just like lazy to use them, and I have a lot. Some of them I use just one, and then I mean, the most important vibrator I have, I literally asked my friends to chip in to get it for me for my birthday because we do this. We always order, like, you know, okay, I want this. We have this kind of budget that, you know,
I love that.
and we do it with friends. I asked for for vibrator. I used it a couple of times because I was like, this is not like I'm lazy to do that.
Yeah.
So the craziest toy that I have is insane. My partner got it literally just off Amazon. It's like no brand. It looks do you want me to find it quickly?
Oh my god, if you want to, yes, please.
Oh my god, yes. Are you ready?
I'm ready. No. Oh
Try to see
my
what
God. No, I would literally take that toy and just have it for kissing. No, I miss kissing.
So the craziest thing, and like he literally got it as a joke, because it looked like, look how it looks. And then he put it like on my pussy or something, and I was like, what the fuck?
It works. Wait, let me just explain it to the audience.
Yeah,
Not even
so
on video. It's like lips
yes.
and a tongue, and it's like the tongue is moving in different directions, and the lips are like really plump. Okay,
Yes.
what's your experience?
So what it does, it creates this kind of vacuum effect,
Oh.
because of the it basically like sucks to the surface, and then the tongue rotates and it also vibrates, the whole thing. But this also vacuum effect, and this tongue is crazy, like because it reaches certain like clitoris and other like things, and it's just insane. And I have another toy which is it's basically like twisted like this, so it's
Okay.
like a for the G spot.
Okay.
And the combo is insane. So if like the one for the G spot is inside, and this one is on the anus. Oh my God! It's like it's the screenshot that is being made, and I go into convulsions. So after this combo, I'm like, I don't know if I like if anything can beat that, but I'm always open to explore, other toys. But this combo so far was like, it has been incredible.
Oh my God. And the fact that this is a no branded toy on Amazon, like that is crazy. And it works. Like, wow. I would literally get it to just make out with it. Like that is what I miss the most is kissing. And I like that you gave the perspective, like not everybody feels like using a sex toy on themselves, but to incorporate it in your relationship with your partner, I think that's
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, for me.
absolutely. Okay, thank you for the show and tell. I feel like I was in class. I love it. Okay, my last question for you for the icebreaker is, speaking of your partner, what's something that your partner does that turns you on the most? Like surefire way to like get you going, like neck kisses, ear stuff, just existing.
Uh, I mean, I guess the actions, it's all like starts from, how you're being cared for, something he does that kind of, is a turn on in itself, how you are cared for, and how the person really tries to, do something good for you. So from like, if we're talking about some more like ethereal
Yes.
things. But otherwise, oof, I love neck kisses. We always, I love the massage.
Oof. Yes.
So that's what we also practice a lot, and it's in the sexiest thing. I'm a receiver, I think, more than a giver, and I'm in also great position where my partner loves to give, and I'm happy to receive, but also to give. But like I'm really comfortable at receiving, and it's I'm all about, and also to be honest, another thing, what I love is he's so creative. Like he always like comes up with stuff to, okay, tonight we're going to a strip club, or like once he took me to a dominatrix dungeon, like on a date. And I love this, like I never know like what to expect. And of course it's like a huge turn on, like in itself, the experience, but also that the person, puts effort into planning, and that's the biggest turn on.
Oh, I love that so much. And I hope that like 10 billion men hear this part of the podcast at least, because that is so true. Like when I feel cared about, and when I feel like you're thoughtful, like thoughtfulness, creativity, all of that, like that is a huge turn on. Yeah, like you said, you can kiss my neck and that will turn me on. But like not always. If you're not thoughtful and if you're not caring, like it's gonna feel nothing. So
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I love that so much. Thank you. Yay. that concludes our icebreakers.
Wow. It felt already like the heat is on. The ice has melted in the first 3 minutes.
It's a puddle now. Okay. You know what the first question I actually wanted to ask you was? How was your experience? Because you're in Prague right now, but where did you grow up and what was your experience in the education system when it comes to sex? Like how did you learn about sex in school from where you're from?
So I grew up in Belarus, which is in Europe, but it's post-Soviet Union, so a lot comes with that. I would say that people are quite narrow-minded, you know, everyone is super judgmental. Not everyone, but majority of people are judgmental. And of course, people don't talk about sex. In school, not at all. But so, of course, I learned about sex not from school, but from friends in the neighborhood, and then from porn, like the internet, or before the internet, we had this LAN network, which was like connecting computers in the neighborhood.
Okay.
But in terms of school, like nothing at all. Basically, we only had we didn't have any sex education class. We had only one class, so 45 minutes. I think it was 9th grade or 10th grade, so we were like 16.
Okay.
And they split the class into like one group was the girls and the second group was the boys, and they basically talked about just like biology, you know, okay, this is the uterus, and you be cautious of STDs, practice abstinence, and that's it. I know that in the US they even show you how to put the condom on. I don't know if they showed it to the guys like in our school. I don't think so.
We got a private session, like, hey guys, this is how you put on a condom.
So
Wow.
and of course, you know, you can imagine everyone was laughing. I remember I had like some classmates who lost their virginity at 13, and at that time, now it's maybe like for some people sound crazy, and even now I'm like, okay, maybe that's too early. But I remember that time that I had the best friend, my classmate. We were sitting at we have those desks where two people sit with each other. And I remember we both were 13. She is like 19 days apart from me, like birthday wise. And the class starts and she literally typed on the cell phone, you know, like that, like she had sex with her boyfriend at the time. And I was like, oh, really? Like, fuck. And I was like, I was wondering, like, how soon it'll happen. And I remember at the time thinking that, yeah, I could do that as well if I had a boyfriend at the time, you know, like now, but no. I lost it many years after this, but I remember thinking that it wasn't like shocking at that age, when you were that age. So imagine when you were like 16, 17, hearing this, everyone was like what the fuck?
Yep. Yep. Literally. Yes, I remember that timeline of like 13 to 18 where virginities were the topic of all conversations. Like it was either you were like a virgin for a really long time until you were 18 or beyond, or you had, like you said, shared your virginity with somebody at 13 and that was so like to some people. But like you said, if you were kind of used to it or you had other friends who did it, then it was like, okay, like this is nothing new. Like
yes.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I was recently thinking, what I was really pissed like off about. I'm not even talking about sex stuff, you know, like pleasure, not even that, but stuff like I don't know, like what is vaginal discharge or like pH? Why do I get like a UTI if like at the time when I have if I had, you know, a new partner, I would get the UTI. I didn't know about it. Only when I was after 20 I was like, okay, so this is actually how my own biology works, and no one explained it to me, and I was struggling to, you know, understand even like what is going on with my body on like regular basis, because I just didn't know like what is it, because not my mom explained to me, not the school, nobody did.
Absolutely.
So this is so weird. That you really don't learn about those things.
Yes, and the other weird part is that boys know what their penis is,
Like, I mean, maybe not necessarily how to take care of it, but like even the fact that I didn't know like my vulva was called a vulva until like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Exactly. Same.
Like,
I'm still somehow sometimes like misuse the words, but that's crazy, right?
yep, it's insane. Yeah, and you're right. Like even if they were to really bring sex education in before the sex education needs to come into schools, a simple anatomy. Like, and people have science classes. Like you said, they talked about biology, but not upkeep. Like anatomy. How do I clean properly? Some people, I just watched a TikTok video. A young woman, she didn't grow up with her mom, and so
Mm-hmm.
she didn't know there were certain like smells that she had that she wasn't aware of. She didn't know that you were
Yes.
supposed to wipe from front to back. Like it's just certain things that not everyone is aware of, and that can take a toll on your hygiene, on your confidence, on everything. So I 1,000% agree, but I wonder, like, that was going to be the next question I was going to ask you in regards to like shame and stigma. Like, what do you think the core of that is? And we talk about this a bit in sex tech school as well, but like also,
Mm-hmm.
how do we help with this? Like, I want to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I'm going to go to the States to
Yes.
teach some courses. And originally it was going to be about sex education. Now it's kind of turned into a anatomy, pleasure, consent education kind of thing as a whole. But I'm grateful for the school that's allowing me to do that because they're so open-minded and so liberated, but not everybody's like that. So like, question number one is, how do you think that we can help with that? And second question is, where do you think the shame and stigma of sex and pleasure and women specifically, or like people with vulvas, derives from?
So can I answer the second question first?
Please, absolutely. Absolutely.
So my theory, which will stem a little bit maybe into feminism,
Okay.
a feministic view. So I really think that it was a way to control women just because we are more capable of receiving pleasure than men. Even the bare fact that women can orgasm multiple times per sexual act and men can do once and then they need a break and then they can do
A breather.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I really think that this whole I mean, and it's very much connected to religion, right? That if a woman is having multiple partners, then she's labeled as a whore, and she's not good for marriage because she's not a virgin. And I think this was the original way of controlling women. So this is the question about shame in relation to women in particular, and how we can help that. Well, the only way I found how to overcome it is just by actively practicing it, and then it kind of develops as a muscle. You know, the more you talk about it, the easier it is to talk about it. I've been quite openly talking about sex my whole life. So for me it's a natural, you know, but I see some friends that are like, or people I meet, you know, for the first time, and they're like, oh my God, like no one has talked about it like this. But I see that, you know, it's kind of for me, like I lead by example, you know, like I'm talk about it, I make, and then it inspires people to open up as well. But on a global scale, yeah, I think it's just about just keeping on pushing to make these issues in the spotlight, you know.
Absolutely.
And this kind of ties into sex education, etc. I think the biggest breakthrough that has happened recently, it was when the sexual wellness products became like basically started to be sold at the retailers, like brick and mortar. So like Sephora, like other, I don't know, Target, Walmart, like both physically and also online. And also I know that in some pharmacies as well, like in the UK. And I thought that when this happened, this is the beginning of the, maybe not revolution, but evolution. Because when you can see it, you know, you cannot anymore like hide from it. Then it's undeniable that it's here. Sorry, like we cannot continue to pretend that it's not there. So I believe in change. Like the change
Absolutely.
is near.
Yes, and that's what Nympho Life is doing too with your intelligence hub. Like you're literally educating, bringing awareness. Like the visuals that you have on your Instagram, they make me literally want to tap more into my sensual and sexual energy. So I feel like you said,
Aw,
you're practicing what you preach. Like I love that so much. And you're so
thank you.
right. Of course, if somebody goes like a little older religious lady like goes to Sephora and she's looking for foundation and she sees like lube like next door. Well, it's a new age now. So yeah,
Yes.
I love the steps. Yeah. And I think that it's been so much oppression that like things like that are really big based on we came from like with the 50s where they were putting leeches on women's vulvas. Like I will be,
What?
yes.
Wait, I haven't heard of that. Tell
Oh
me.
my, I'm reading this book. It's called When Sex Hurts. And they said that sex was such a taboo, pleasure was such a taboo topic back in the day that they would literally put, like, if a woman would pleasure herself and like the town found out, they would humiliate her and put a leech on her vulva.
Oh my God. I literally have a phobia of blood.
Oh
I'll
no.
leeches.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm like,
Diabolical.
that's crazy. No, thank you. I mean, like, that's fucked up. Like, thank you for this insight.
So fucked up. And you're welcome. Or else, if they didn't do that, then they would put them in like mental institutions and say that they were hysterical. Yep.
Yeah, that I know. But that's how they invented vibrator, no?
It is.
To treat the hysteria, because the treatment for hysteria was that the doctors would do it manually, which is basically fingering or like, I don't know, fisting. But because doctors had such a huge, like the line of patients in a day, their hand would get tired. So they wanted to have some sort of a device that would automate this. And this is how the vibrator was invented.
And then it literally backfired on them. Like, look at it now.
Yes.
That's sick. Like that is so. But this was not consensual, right? Like this is literally. Or were they actively going to the doctor to like?
I guess eventually, yes. I guess
you know, when you
eventually,
get
yes.
your rocks off, they're like, okay, well, if I can't pleasure myself, then I'll
Yes.
go to the doctor to get fingered. That is freaking.
Yes. Yeah. And then she's like, honey, I'm sorry, but I think I feel hysterical today. Like, see you later. And she's like, coming. I think it was at the end they were like super into that because like what the husbands would be useless basically. And then, like,
Yeah, they're like, no, yeah, I need to go.
yeah, I'm sick. I can't.
I can't. I love when stuff like that backfires on men, and it's like, oh, look at us, still getting pleasure at the end of the day. Like, I cannot.
Yes.
This actually reminds me, kind of, not, it actually doesn't remind me, but we're just talking about pleasure in general. Of you have a story regarding Cosmo and orgasm.
Cosmo?
Yes, I think you said that you thought that you weren't orgasming based on
Yes.
how Cosmo defined an orgasm. Yes, can you tell us more about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and this is, I think, also kind of ties in why I believe sex education is so important, especially education about pleasure.
Yep.
Because also not only, as we already discussed, like the basic anatomy and other things, other aspects of it, but also my kind of big part of my journey into this developing into the sexual person that I am today was discovering my orgasm.
Okay.
And basically when I started having sex, which was around like not started, but like I lost my virginity when I was 19.
Okay.
And at the time I felt that I didn't have an orgasm, and neither I felt that I had an orgasm when I was masturbating, which was often. So what was happening was that for example, masturbation example, right? Like when I was masturbating, and then I would feel that I'm reaching the point where I cannot, like, I get too sensitive. So I cannot like touch myself like with same intensity longer. But I felt that the orgasm is behind this kind of threshold that I have to almost like push myself, like, like put an effort, like to
Yep.
keep pushing, like
Oh.
keep stimulating myself to like overcome it, and then it will be like big, the orgasm.
The big
And then
O.
I felt like, but I can't do it. Like I'm too sad.
Yeah.
Like I cannot like push anymore.
Yeah.
And so my approach was, okay, like what is wrong with me?
Oh.
First question, wrong question,
Wrong
but
question.
natural one,
But
when
natural.
you just like. So I was asking my friends,
Okay.
how does it feel when you have an orgasm? And they would be like, either, the classic, like, oh, like I see like fireworks, or, I feel like I'm in space, or it feels like a release, like a wave or a tide or whatever, the lightning bolt. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's crazy. Like, I don't feel that. And then I would be like, Googling, okay, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, how to get an orgasm? And of course, top search results, cosmopolitan, like whatever, all this like mass media, basically media outlets. And of course, all the advice, oh, try this position, try to relax, try to masturbate more. Like, bitch, I'm masturbating every day, like multiple times. Like, this is like a bullshit advice.
What do you
in my
want?
situation, like, what do you mean? Like, it doesn't work. But also, just to put it this way, like, I absolutely enjoyed sex. Like, for me, it was like, I was just like, okay, this is weird, but I still, I love sex nevertheless.
Yeah.
But I still feel it, understand what the whole buzz is about. So, and I've been struggling with this like for almost, I don't know, maybe 3 years, two and a half, like years. I just I wasn't understanding what's wrong with me. So eventually,
Okay.
I was in a park, favorite park, and I have a best friend, and he at the time was dating a girl.
Okay.
And we like meeting, three of us, to grab, like having a beer, sitting in the park, and she goes, this friend, like, he told me about, his girlfriend tells me, he told me about this problem you're having. I was like, oh, okay. But I wasn't mad at him, like, because it wasn't like a secret, I was open about it.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, like, that's, like, that's it. Like, yeah, I'm really struggling with this. Like, and so I decided to ask her. I was like, but tell me, you, like, how does it feel for you when you're having an orgasm? How do you know? And she was like, well, it's very easy. When I have an orgasm, I feel my muscles contracting. And I was like, what? But this is what I've been feeling all this time. And that's why I couldn't push more, because I felt like I couldn't. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this day, my life has changed forever. Because you know what I realized? That I've been fucking having the orgasm like all those times, but probably not, I wasn't aware of it. Because I imagined that the orgasm should be like this crazy, and I was just literally missing it because I thought it's something else.
Wow.
So I was literally missing it. And then after this, after I realized, okay, but so this is fucking it. I started focusing on specifically this, on achieving the muscle contractions.
Wow.
And that's when I realized how to get there, how to achieve it by myself with a partner. And then I started getting this crazy orgasm. Because, like, you had to start small. But no one told me that orgasms are different. And orgasms can be small. As one of my friends says, orgasm sometimes it's just like a sneeze. Like, it's not something groundbreaking. Or it can be, but I thought that orgasm is only this like crazy experience when you see God.
Yes.
And nothing else.
Wow.
Like, why it took me so much troubles, and searching
so much
to get there. Crazy.
You're doing like market research, asking people like, what does your orgasm feel like? What does your orgasm feel like? Like, that's great, but you got to your answer eventually.
Yes. So I hope this story helps someone, because like I wish I heard it from someone like back then, but there was just like no alternative explanation.
Yes.
of that. So, and that's why I think also the pleasure is really important aspect to be discussed, even, you know, at schools. Maybe not like in, you know, all the juicy details, but at
Right.
least, you know, the fact that organs can be different, and as a partner you should care about your partner's pleasure and making sure that your partner cares about your pleasure, and not be scared to communicate how you like to be pleased.
Yes, I love that. I feel the same exact way. I really hope, because I know I get DMs all the time about people who have difficulty reaching a climax or understanding what a climax feels like, or they've never been with a partner before an orgasm. They've never orgasmed alone before, or maybe they've orgasmed with a partner but don't know how it feels when they do solo play. I don't know. There's an array of people out there who just don't know. So I created a series called Project Pleasure, which was supposed to come out literally, I want to say in January, because I had people submit stuff in like October, November, but then my life lifed. So still working on that. But I had people answer the question of how does an orgasm feel? And a lot of the answers were beautiful, and these were their experiences. But like you said, it was like, I saw God, or my body does this, that, and the third. But like the scientific aspect of like my vagina muscles contract, like my clitoris throbs, like that. Those kind of things are so helpful just for like people like me who are so literal. Like if you're gonna say I'm gonna see God, I'm really expecting to see God every single time. Like don't you know? So
Yes.
yeah, I love that so much. Oh my God, thank you so. You are an excellent storyteller, by the way. Like I just wanted to like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem at all. Okay, I wanted to ask you, what is one of your craziest sex stories? And I think you had one about dates to strip clubs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, tell us all about it.
Oof. I don't know if it's like a specific story or not, but what I love to do is to go on dates to strip clubs.
Okay.
And we've been to a lot with my partner in Prague and also in the US.
Okay.
And in Medellin in Colombia as well.
Oh.
I don't know. The craziest is probably the like in Miami, we went to this strip club called Tootsie's. It was just so funny. I mean, like I always like I would like go to the bathroom sometime, and I would come back and he would be like surrounded by girls, always like convincing him to like, you know, to get them to the private. So we would do it sometimes, which
Okay.
was which was funny. I remember the kind of hilarious story was which is like less sexual, you know, but
Okay.
more like on a hilarious side. We went so yeah, it was in Atlanta. We went
Okay.
like to 3 strip clubs in one night. We went to one which was like super sketchy one. It was really sketchy. Then we went to Magic City,
Okay.
which is apparently super famous. It was like, I mean, I was prepared for something like so, you know, big and like crazy, and it was like some tiny, like sketchy ass place in the middle
Really?
of nowhere. Yes,
I
like,
haven't
it's
been.
like really, it's super ordinary, and I know it's like
Wow.
super famous. The hilarious thing was there that like people literally come there to eat. We were even reading the review, and people were like, best chicken wings, like in the city.
It's always the wings.
And that was for me like a non-American, like my
Yes.
biggest insight were that in all strip clubs there are TV screens broadcasting sport. I was like, what the fuck? Like, don't you come to like look at, you know, beautiful women? Like,
Yes. No, because you know men are so one track minded. I don't know. Maybe they shift their focus every now and then.
but also the food. I mean, I've never seen the like food at the strip club.
Like whole meals. Like lobster.
Yes. Yeah, and I remember then we went to the one called Cheetahs. It was
Cheetahs.
crazy. This was like, it looked like a super fancy club with like mapping projections under the ceiling and like other like fancy, you know, kind of like not go-go dances. It was like the striptease dancers, but it was pretty cool. But it was less, let's say, touchy-feely, like normally the dancers. But like the craziest thing was that there was the stage, was the main stage was the pole for like multiple dancers, but the stage was surrounded basically by tables, like was white tablecloths and kind of like candlelit tables where people were literally having candlelit dinner in a strip club because it has some sort of like a collaboration, or I don't know, like with a restaurant.
Okay.
It was so you literally like people. There was a family. There was a mom and a daughter, like literally having a dinner in the middle of a strip club.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
hilarious.
I cannot. Okay, so in strip clubs and other places outside of Atlanta, is there like food and an experience, or is it just mostly just the strippers and like that's it?
To be honest, never food, but experience. Yes, like I was literally 2 weeks ago at a strip club here in Prague. My favorite is called Darling.
Okay.
They fucking have cabaret show there, and I remember we went there first time, one of our first dates with my partner, and there was the show. It stole our heart. There's like the big stage, and there were a man and a woman, and they were dressed like the man was dressed as a magician, and the woman was dressed like some like light beautiful dress, and it was the show in a strip club was about the magic trick. So someone brought out like huge box. The man put the woman in a box, closed it, then started putting some sort of, not the swords, but kind of this like metal plate through the box in different spaces to kind of, like where the woman was.
Yeah.
Twist the box. So this kind of, the like illusionist shit
Uh-huh.
kind of. And then he took the swords and knives out of the box, like, and he opened the box and he took her out naked.
Oh my
So
God.
it was like an illusionist trick.
Oh, this is like Cirque du Soleil. Like, what?
Yes. But honestly, they do crazy stuff now, like at the strip clubs. Also, I've seen recently there was like also pretty cool. Also a guy and a girl, and he was like dominating her, kind of like, tying her and stuff. And then on stage, she proceeded to give him a blowjob, and then they had sex. Like, I mean, like she like sat on him a couple of times or something like this. But
Okay.
but yeah, so like this is now the standards, it's really explicit.
Yes.
I must say.
That's what I would have expected you to see at Magic City. Like how you at Magic City, you don't even have magic. Like at least give me, put her up in a box or something. Like, I don't know, give me something. Like give me some sparkle or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so overall, I honestly love it because I adore looking at beautiful women. So that's my place to enjoy.
Yeah.
But also, like, to be honest, if you want to try, like, for example, many women are fantasizing about trying something with a girl, but the problem is that it's not that easy to find, who to experiment with.
Who are you telling?
Sure. So you know what I mean.
Yes.
And also sometimes, in the context of relationship, and I really think that because let's be honest, not all strip clubs are really strip clubs. Sometimes, and in many places, you pay and you go to private, and if you pay a little bit more, you can do other things.
Okay.
It is not said explicitly, but you can do this.
Right.
But and of course, it depends on who you do it with, how professional is who you do it with.
Yep.
But it can be amazing because it's a controlled environment. You pay someone for a service, which is, consensual, and it is talked through before.
I love that.
As you can talk with your partner, and this is an amazing ground to experiment. And then because it is such a artificial, situation, it means that you can really, control it. So I think it's a kind of good, and again, it's like a service, so no one's feelings will be hurt, or there will be no weird vibes. So I think I can recommend it, for people who really wants to try, or like women if they're into this, and if there's no kind of jealousy. I think it can be a cool experiment to try with your partner.
I love that, especially as a date night idea. Like y'all get to bond together and look at sexy, beautiful women. Like I love that. How do you navigate not getting jealous? Like, because I know me, I used to be extremely possessive. So I'm really working.
Yeah.
I feel like I've grown, but do you have any tips for people like me?
Oof. I think I'm not really a jealous person in general. But honestly, communication and like in general communication, you can also from your side say like what it is important for you to receive, not to feel insecure. For example, I think it's normal to say that, you know, I want you to give me compliments often. That's important to me. That makes me feel less insecure. I am very insecure, you know, but about other things, like not, you know, life stuff and, you know, other things that, oh my God, I'm scared that he leaves me, but not for other women, but just like, in general,
In general, even.
yes. So I am insecure, but you know, not because, but yeah, but also I think again, if it's about, you know, the context of trying something with other person, then it's definitely talking through everything up front. Or even if it's about going to a sex party together, it's about talking about everything up front, what you will be comfortable with experiencing, giving, receiving, seeing your partner give and receive totally needs to be discussed up front. There needs to be some certain kind of, I mean, can be a code word set up, like if you are feeling uncomfortable in the situation, you want to leave together. And then, of course, talk afterwards, kind of like have the wrap-up session about how you both felt, what went good, what went wrong, if you want to do it again or not. I think it's important. Yeah, especially if you want to involve other people in your relationship.
Yeah.
It's really all about communication.
I love that. I love a good debrief. Even after sex, like after I have sex with somebody, like, can we talk about it? Wait, like I love this.
Wait, let me get a towel and then we can talk about it.
Literally, let me go pee real quick. Get some water. You know a guy like that. Like we would have sex. It was really intimate. This was like the first time I had like sober sex. I was always like drunk to like get out of my head when I was having sex originally. So we had like this really orgasmic experience. He went to the bathroom, grabbed towels for us, and then he came back in. He was like, so like, you know, any critiques, like any anything I need to work on? What did you like? I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll give you this.
You're taking out the notepad.
Literally do a synopsis. Like,
Oh,
okay,
wait, hold up. Let me put it in Canva. With animations. You're good with design. I'm sure you would prepare a beautiful deck.
Thank you so much. I learned from the best, aka you. I put it on a projector. Like you see that right there with graphics and everything. I love it. I'm gonna do that for real, for real. For my next partner, like I'm gonna have a Canva design, like what I love, like a handful.
Yes. Why not? Honestly.
Why not? Like, because sometimes I love. Okay, so I've been watching reality TV lately, and I feel like, well, not lately, for a while in my life, but a lot of on these dating shows, they're always like, I just want the guy to know. I just want the guy to know. And I feel like that puts a kind of a bad taste, or it puts this misconception out there that men just need to assume. I don't want my person assuming. Like, I need you to straight up ask me, or I'm just gonna straight up tell you. Like I said, because all bodies are different. So I think that communication is so key. But a lot of people are scared to talk to their partners. So I think that's super interesting. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also, I guess, also like my experience shows that you not always know yourself, and it can take time and not obvious solutions like masturbating more to get to know yourself. Because I really believe, and I guess this is basically what you said, that first and foremost, you need to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know yourself so that you can explain to the other person. Because if you don't know yourself and you rely on other person to guess or, you know, kind of open you up to feel something, I think it's almost impossible.
1,000%.
Because you can, yeah, only you can know yourself and then explain it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were certain things like fingering. I can't finger myself for whatever reason. The same thing that you were saying about your toys. Like it's predictable and like I know it's my hand. Like so, you know.
Yeah. Have you heard of this? I don't know if it's like applies also to women or not, but to men for sure. That like if you are bored of like masturbating with one hand, you have to like you know like sit on it so it gets numb, so it feels like somebody has to do it.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. But I can literally imagine men doing that. Now, if I ever see a man sitting on his hand, I'm like, why are you sitting on your hand like that? Oh my God. That is literally hilarious. No, I've never heard that. But now I kind of want to sit on my hand to make it numb and see if maybe it will work. But like I have
I
such
know.
overload. So I feel like you know when
But
you like
but do you use one hand or you switch? Like, are you like right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed, so I use my right hand, and I haven't tried it in a really long time, actually. Like I haven't tried it since I've been in like the sex positive space of my life. Like I mean, I've always been sex positive, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try it once again. I have a couple of things I have to report back to: watching gay porn, trying,
Yes.
and there's something else, but I'll watch this back and remember.
Yes.
Okay, for every episode that I have with the guest, I always ask like, what questions you have for me, or if you want to learn something. Because one thing about my podcast is that I love to learn with my guests. So I think that you asked an amazing question, and that was, what do you do with the sex toys that you don't use anymore or that just don't work for you? I love that. Like I've been sent toys from some companies, and I'm like, I actually don't like this, and I'm never going to use this again. So like, what do I do with it? So I found an article on Vice, which I think I consider it to be pretty credible. So I just wanted to read off some things. Let me see.
Yes.
Okay. So they have tips on how to reduce or reuse and recycle. And then I actually got a toy from Womanizer. This is not an ad, but they sent me a biodegradable toy. And
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, yep, it was sustainable. I was like, okay. So it says, the second coming, no pun intended, how to resell, repair, and recycle your sex toys. As the sex toy industry grows, so does waste. So here's how and why to properly dispose of yours like a good, horny Samaritan. I'll read a little bit of the excerpt that they have, but if it starts being too much, I'm literally just gonna jump down to the answer. Because you know, sometimes articles are just have too many words. So it says, where do all the used sex toys go? This is a quote. I have visions of an old butter mountain on Wine Lake, and I think the sex toy must be much, much bigger. I'm sorry, this isn't making sense. The first sentence already fucked me up. Okay, let's skip. It says, together, the person who was thinking that, I think, somebody named Lisa from a sex toy website called Squeaky Clean. Okay. So Lisa is the co-founder of the first ever secondhand sterilized sex toy website, Squeaky Clean. Together with her and her partner, Dan, they both requested to go by pseudonyms for privacy reasons. They want to help horny people realize that getting rid of used sex toys doesn't... Oh my God, where'd this go? Where'd it go? Okay, sorry. They're getting rid of used sex toys. I'm gonna crop this whole part out because the whole screen just jumped.
No worries.
Okay, thank you. That getting rid of used sex toys doesn't have to mean throwing them in the garbage. We've told very few friends, to be honest, Dan says, of their operation, which originally started in 2021 and has now over 3,500 users and 17,000 monthly visitors. The general reaction is sort of, oh, wait, actually, that's kind of a good idea. Fast forward. We don't know exactly how much trash our discarded pocket pussies and strap-ons are adding to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, but we know it can't be good. It says that's why in 2018, Blush Novelties launched a biodegradable bullet vibrator made out of starch-based bioplastic. I actually feature a blush on Ethereal X on my website. Yes, I don't have this one though. I might have to add it. It's made of starch-based bioplastic, and that's why Womanizer launched a biodegradable clitoral toy in 2021. This coverage of its interest in humans and environmental health is happening in the industry, but the relatively small number of decomposable toys are a drop in the ocean of the market that is expected to hit a global value of $80.7 billion by 2030, which is why we were in the sex tech industry. It says another trend is sex toys that are safer for consumers with both newer Gen Z oriented brands like Unbound Babes, whom I love, and legacy toy companies such as the luxury Swedish sex toy brand Lilo, who I love, highlighting their toys' body safe materials. But sadly, what's better for the consumer's genitals isn't always better for the environment. When Alexander Fine, co-founder of the very aesthetic sexual wellness brand Dame 8 years ago, says there were plenty of body unsafe PVC jelly toys on the market that included phthalates, toxic chemicals linked to cancer, and hormone imbalances. But these toys were almost all taken off the market by 2014, and largely thanks to consumer demand, but not consumer protection agencies. There's been an improvement to the sex toy manufacturing standards, she says, but those changes are mostly made around hardware, thanks to the guidelines from the International Standard of Organization that outline best practices for toys construction, but not materiality. All right, y'all, but when are we going to get to the part where they tell us how we reduce, reuse, and recycle? Okay, recycling toys. It says, when in doubt, read the fine print about your toys' materials. And if the material list is not readily available, they probably suck. According to Goodman, stainless steel is a big enthusiastic yes from the DSNY and one of the easiest materials to recycle. That's not the case with borosilicate glass. Hopefully I said that right. A heat-resistant glass that's unlike glass bottles and jars, which are very easily recyclable. Goodman says borosilicate glass is unsuitable for most commercial applications, but frankly, challenging to recycle from a molecular standpoint. ABS plastic, which I know some of like the remotes for sex toys and like some of like the handles and stuff uses ABS. ABS plastic can be processed without any issues, he says, but it is not the most sought after type of plastic for recycling like PET and HDPE. Recycling departments are like snowflakes, so just contact your own and see what they suggest. There are also sexual wellness sites that will recycle sexual toys of varying materials. Come As You Are is a self-described anti-capitalist feminist sexual wellness co-op that has been that has been running a sex toy recycling program off and on since 2023 from Toronto, Canada, and will accept silicone and ABS plastic toys as well as binders. Eden Fantasies in Atlanta, Georgia, that's where their company is based. It says, whose recycling program lets you send in as many battery-free toys as you like with the purchase of a $5 voucher. Does that mean we get $5 or we have to give $5? We get $5, I would assume.
I guess so, yeah, but that's not a lot. $5?
Unless you have like 20 sex toys, then maybe you can rack up a little bit. It says, if what you want doesn't fit into any of these categories, you can always mount your old sex toys above your bed like a big game hunter. Oh no, we don't support big game hunting, but I understand what they mean. Just don't pitch toys blindly in the trash. If it's a choice between the back of your closet and the landfill, set up to the storage plate or consider one of the following options. Oh, you know what I just thought though? When you like, put it up like a mantle, since we are so sex positive and like, I don't know, I love your decor in your house, and I've saved like a lot of my boxes and sex toys. I would love to have like a sex toy museum. Matter of fact, I should do that. Yes. Like at first I was just thinking for myself, like just have a room where I just have all my sex toys like set up wonderfully, but no, like literally I'd have like celebrities send in their sex toys, like come and look at the vibrator Beyonce.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? That's awesome. You will make millions. Go for it, Lottie. That's awesome.
Try that.
It's like, you know, this Madame Tussauds museum with like wax figure. This has been in Beyonce's pussy.
You know how many people would want to see that? Like so many.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. Okay, I'm that can be like one of my big goals in life. Like,
Yeah. You know what I'm doing? I've been doing it like 2 years, not in a row, but like twice already.
Yeah.
I'm decorating a Christmas tree with like the, you know, this like kinky says like restraints, hand cuffs, like the blood, you know, this shitty one from AliExpress, because I was buying it as for like some Halloween party or something. So I now I have the, because I'm in this really like quality is so shitty. So I'm decorating with these things like the Christmas tree, like, you know, nipple clamps, the rope, the gag ball.
love it. I love. Please take a picture and send it to me, please.
Yes.
As soon as December hits.
I'll send it. I'll send it.
All right, folks. So if you have toys you don't want to use, put them on your Christmas trees.
Yes, but you know what? Also, the other idea I fucking loved, but I don't think it actually. I think they also stopped this. So there is this street I regularly pass by in Prague, and there's it's like kind of small, and there is always like some unrecognized building, and I was noticing sometimes that they had just a paper taped to the door, just like black door, and it was saying secondhand sex toys store. And I was like, wow. And I remember I shared it on Instagram. I was like, is it the great idea or like crazy idea? And people are like, ew, like that's crazy. But I actually think it's fucking genius.
Absolutely.
Imagine like how many, as my story is, you know, like you buy a sex toy and then like you are not really into that, but like it's fucking expensive. It can be, you know, $200 or something.
Yeah.
So I thought it's genius, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, is it always closed? Like, why never? Like, I want to go in there and like see what's that. Turns out it was like a promotion for some party. They just called it. They just called it. I was like, "Wow, this is like offline clickbait." But then I went and started Googling this. You know, if it actually exists.
Wow.
Apparently, there used to be a website,
Okay.
which was offering this exact service. You know, they would accept your toys, you would mail it, they would sterilize it, and they would resell it, kind of like StockX. You know, how they validate like the sneakers, but it would be for used sex toys, with the like complete disinfection service. But I think they went out of business.
Wow, that sucks. That would really help. Like, otherwise, what are we doing with that? I mean, we sterilize, not sterilizing, but we're cleaning the toys ourselves, and then they have like this sterilizing solution that's like really getting deep into the nitty gritty. I understand they probably wouldn't be able to do like porous toys and stuff like that, but if it's just straight up body safe silicone where you know that you can easily clean it, like,
yes,
it should exist. So I can't believe you got clickbaited in real life. Like, that's very petty. I feel like this article didn't necessarily answer the question, because I'm very curious about this as well. They have that you can repair your toys. Okay, and they have tips about that. And then they say reselling your toys. But once again, like, just for the sake of us not having like all of those major like sanitary things where we're able to really fully sanitize our stuff, that would be kind of difficult. But I wonder, I do know that people sell their used sex toys online to like on like Craigslist. Like literally, I feel like that like used
Craigslist is like the darkness of that.
Craigslist is so scary. No, I literally tried to sell used panties one time on there because I was like in the depths of brokenness. I was like, I'll do anything for money right now. And I don't want to have a sugar daddy just because I didn't feel like it. So I'm like, let me fucking sell some panties. But they'd be like,
did you manage?
I never sold one.
Oh.
I tried, but like I would just get creeped out. Like they'd be my email. Like, first of all, I couldn't find like the message hub on Craigslist, so it just went from Craigslist to email. So now I'm just emailing a stranger. How am I supposed to get this to you? I can't put my return address on there because you're gonna know where I live, and then be like, "Hey, sweetheart," like I don't know. I just imagine saying, "What, can I have your panties?" Like I don't know. Like,
yes.
But they said that there's a company in the beginning of this article, and they literally said that they had Squeaky Clean. Okay, let's look to see what Squeaky Clean does. Are they like still a thing? I'm gonna link both of these articles to this episode, and then like if people
Yeah.
want to explore, they can. But
Yes.
I think this is still like a website that's up and like that you can sell your sex toys on, and they'll like sterilize your stuff for you. Once again, this is not an ad. I don't know anything about me, but it'd be great to like save the earth. But until
Yeah.
then, I'm gonna be brainstorming on this sex toy museum. So stay tuned. You'll be able to
That's great.
give all of your used sex toys to me, and then I'll literally make like art out of them. And yeah,
Yes.
and then it'll be the Polina Nympho. Oh my God, we're gonna have a Nympho Life section.
Oh my God.
And it's gonna have all this artwork around. Oh,
my God. I already started designing it. And artifacts. I love it. No, it's really awesome. It's really awesome. I was really impressed by the Museum of Sex in New York. They have one of the floors is literally the artifacts from the history of sexuality, and they had like one kind of was more like on the art side. They had like the whole room, which was it was consisting only of pink objects, so like inflatable, but sex toys and not sex toys, like all sorts of things. So I was thinking that now that the museum idea, maybe it also could be some sort of project of like kind of exposing like the sex toys and kind of different objects, and then photos of people, and then you have to guess like who it belongs to in terms of aesthetic. It can be like all this, for example, and especially this contrast. It can be this like girly girl, but she would only have this fucking metal, anal hooks, and like all the crazy shit, like this feasting vibrators, and she's like. On the opposite, the goth woman, and it would be only like this pink like or butt plug with the pink diamond or something like this, like absolutely unexpected.
Yes. I love okay, after this interview we're gonna literally brainstorm and figure out how to make this, because I have so many questions. So I'm like, wait, is it gonna be this, is it gonna be that? Like this is gonna be a thing. Like I'm convinced. Like I'm gonna be in the sex tech Slack. Like, hey guys, does anybody know how to make this happen?
Yes, we came up with an idea. We have to share this episode in sex tech school.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, this literally has been. I do this for every interview, so I have to stop. I'll be like, oh my God, this is like such an amazing, like I don't want to say my favorite because all of them are my favorite, but like this was just really so fun. Thank you so much. Like, okay, I can have multiple favorites. So this is one of my favorites. Thank you so, so much for being here with me. But I did want to end with two icebreaker questions. Oh, not icebreakers, sorry, like ending questions. And then I want you to let us know where we can find you. Once again, just tell us all about Nympho Life, what's next, when's the launch, all of that stuff. So the first question is, what is one word of advice that you wish you could tell your younger self, or that you would like to tell your younger self right
now? Sexuality related or not?
Whatever your heart desires. Originally, when I wrote it, it was sexuality related, but it can be whatever your heart desires. It can be helpful for anyone.
Yeah. I would say that like keep saying yes to new things, experiences, because that's what makes you happy and creates all the crazy stories that I enjoy telling.
Say yes for the plot.
Fuck yeah. No, I mean, of course, like you have to think, but honestly, so it doesn't fucking matter, like why not just like trying things. If you don't like it, then you just don't like it. But I would say that sexuality and different experiences are so diverse. It's worth exploring. Like if you feel like exploring something, don't be afraid to try it, because even if you don't like it, then what?
Yeah, I love that so much. So much. Thank you for that. And the other question I was going to ask is, what's one word of advice that you'd like to give to people who are curious about exploring their sexuality?
Okay, I have an advice more like maybe practical.
Okay.
if you want to explore your sexuality, then try to expose yourself to different sources to learn how the sexuality can be explored, different ways, not just porn, because this is usually kind of the point of reference that people use, and they see that, okay, so this is means what this is what means exploring your sexuality, trying BDSM. Okay, fine, like but some people see trying BDSM as like getting fisted, which is like, okay, but like you don't have to go that far. And it's kind of extreme, and that's why people are like, okay, I'm not kinky, because they automatically think, okay, like they need to be whipped, humiliated, being suspended in the air, and that's why I think, okay, maybe I'm not kinky. So my advice is trying to look to other sources like literature, listening to podcasts, cinematography, like even all doesn't have to be something modern, there are incredible movies like from the 70s, there are incredible books. If someone wants to, on the topic of BDSM, there is an incredible author, Anais Nin, who describes such crazy scenes but in such an artistic language that she never uses the word fuck or pussy or anything, but it just like drives you crazy, all the fantasies. So you need to find inspiration for the fantasies, and then to bring them to life. But in order to, even sometimes we're limited, what we can think of. For some people it's easy, for some people it's not that easy. Then you need to look elsewhere and beyond maybe traditional sources. So it's just, look for it. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with Nympho Life. I want to give people non-obvious sources and aesthetic, like high aesthetic, beautiful sources of where you can learn about different aspects of erotica and sexuality and get inspired to bring it to your personal life.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. I love Nympho Life so much. I love you so much. This has been so incredibly amazing. Do you have any last words, last thoughts? Don't forget, also plug in your socials, let people know where they can find you, and put it all in the description as well, but let them know.
I love you too. Thank you so much, Lavati. I'm so happy, and I told you I'm so looking forward to this episode, and I would like to invite you as well as a guest to my podcast.
Of course, thank you so much.
Let's agree, and this will be a reverse. So I will be asking you questions.
Yes, absolutely.
So excited.
Oh my gosh.
And where you can find me? Well, Nympho Life you can find on Instagram. It's Nympho, NYMPHO.life, LIFE, or the website, it's nympholife.net. I'm relaunching it, so soon it will be absolutely different experience, reflecting the hub concept that I have. And my personal profile is at Poli Kirichuk, which is POLIKRRICHUK on Instagram.
I love it. Thank you so much. Just a quick story time. When we had our graduation for class, literally Polina was like my biggest cheerleader. She was in the chat like, yes, my sis from another miss. Like literally my long lost sister who's living in Prague right now. Like we will definitely see each other in person very, very soon. I am manifesting this. But thank you for all of just being you. And I love you so much. Thank y'all for listening.
I love you too.
Be sure to follow.
Thank you.
See y'all.